Imagine pouring years into your dream job, sacrificing sleep, personal life, everything, to one day shine as your company's star. Then your boss fires you to clear a path for his mistress. He thought I'd break and vanish, but I'm Emily Davis, and I don't back down. This is the story of how I uncovered their sordid affair, wove a cunning plan of revenge, and tore off their masks at a glamorous company gala in front of hundreds of colleagues, clients, and partners. I'm 32 and live in Chicago, Illinois, in the vibrant Lincoln Park neighborhood, where historic brick townhouses nestle under sprawling oaks, and mornings carry the scent of fresh croissants from Le Croissant Bakery on the corner. My apartment is my cozy sanctuary, a faded blue couch piled with plaid pillows, wooden shelves crammed with marketing books and Frank Sinatra vinyl records, and large windows letting in soft light that glints off rain-slicked sidewalks. Mornings hum with bicycle bells and joggers' laughter in the park. Evenings buzz with bar chatter and saxophone notes from the jazz club across the street. I love this city, its energy, its pulse that makes me feel alive. For 5 years, I worked as a marketer at Brightwave Media, a Chicago agency crafting campaigns for major brands, from trendy startups to hotel chains. My job was my calling. I spent nights analyzing trends, building strategies that earned millions. Colleagues joked I could sell snow to Eskimos, and clients called me a wizard. I dreamed of becoming marketing director, picturing myself closing deals in a corner office overlooking Lake Michigan, where waves sparkle under the sun and skyscrapers gleam like crystals. Each week, I pinned goal notes to my fridge. Promotion by 2026. Campaign of the year. Own agency. They kept me sharp even when exhaustion hit. My boss, David Crow, was charismatic but slippery as an eel. At 42, he looked like a magazine model. Perfectly styled hair with a touch of gray. $3,000 suits. A smile that could seal $1 million contract. He charmed effortlessly, but his eyes betrayed a cold calculation. We got along. Or so I thought. He praised my presentations, called me a key player in meetings, and hinted a promotion was close. "Emily, you're our secret weapon," he'd say, winking, and I believed he saw my potential. But everything changed in January 2025 when Lauren Black arrived. Lauren, a 27-year-old branding consultant, swept into our company like a hurricane. Tall, with long chestnut hair she tossed dramatically, and a smile that left men in the office speechless, she became an instant star. Her resume was thin, small projects for obscure startups. But David hung on her every word, even when her ideas were yawn-inducingly bland. Colleagues whispered, "She's sleeping with him. It's obvious." I brushed it off as jealousy. But then I noticed Lauren lingering in David's office after meetings, his laughter at her flat jokes, his hand accidentally brushing her shoulder. One evening, I returned to the office for my forgotten laptop and caught them in the conference room. Lauren was adjusting David's tie, and he gazed at her with such hunger I felt like an intruder. His wife, Catherine, a renowned corporate lawyer, was Lauren's opposite. Stern, elegant, with a sharp mind. I'd seen her at company events, in flawless dresses, seemingly keeping David on a tight leash. I saw them at last year's gala. Catherine smiling at guests, David playing the devoted husband. But Lauren clearly wasn't fazed by Catherine or the gossip. It all crashed on April 15th, 2020. I was prepping the year's biggest campaign for Luxhaven Hotels, a project set to be my triumph. My team worked nights, crafting a concept blending minimalist design with travelers' emotional stories. I imagined presenting it to clients, David announcing my promotion. But a week before the pitch, he called me into his office. His space was magazine perfect. A glass desk, leather chair, a 30th floor view of Chicago's skyline. He sat, arms crossed, his face cold as the winter wind off Lake Michigan. "Emily, your work no longer meets our standards," he said, avoiding my eyes. "We're letting you go." I felt the blood drain from my face. "What? David, I brought in $10 million in clients. My Lux Haven campaign is nearly done. It's my project." He shrugged, his voice flat. "It's not up for discussion. Lauren will take your project. Clear your desk by end of day." I stumbled out, legs shaking, heart pounding like a drum. In the hallway, I passed Lauren. She flashed a fake saccharine smile that made me want to scream. Her eyes gleamed with victory, as if she knew she'd stolen my life. My colleagues, Zach and Sophia, were stunned. Zach, my best friend on the team, with his tousled brown hair and habit of wearing sneakers with suits, caught me at the elevator. "Emily, this isn't about your work," he whispered. "Everyone knows Lauren's sleeping with David. She's been gunning for your spot since day one." Sophia, an analyst with a sharp tongue and a love for colorful scarves, joined us in the cafeteria. "This is outrageous," she said, slamming her fist on the table. "Lauren's a fraud. She can't even open Google Analytics without a tutorial. David's just blinded by her." That night, I sat in my apartment, wrapped in a blanket, staring at a box of office belongings, my 2024 Marketer of the Year award, a client's thank you note, my potted cactus I named Spike. I opened my laptop to check my work email, still active. There, in the department's group chat, was a message from Lauren, sent by mistake. "David, darling, thanks for last night. Can't wait for the gala." My heart clenched like a fist. This wasn't just a firing, it was their conspiracy. Lauren wanted my job, my campaign, my dream, and David handed it to her to please his mistress. I wiped tears away, anger surging. "You made a mistake thinking I'd give up," I whispered, staring at the dark window. I knew what I had to do. I wasn't going to fade away quietly. If David and Lauren thought they could kick me out of my career and life, they didn't know who they were dealing with. I decided to gather undeniable proof of their affair and expose them at Brightwave Media's annual Gala, a glitzy event attended by all employees, clients, and partners. It was the perfect stage. Hundreds of people in sparkling champagne, bright spotlights, and David's reputation hanging by a thread. I wanted their lies to crumble before everyone, for Catherine and all of Chicago to see who they really were. I started digging. My work email was disabled the next day, but I remembered I still had access to the company's old cloud storage, where document drafts and emails were kept. I logged in late at night, fingers trembling with anticipation. There were emails between David and Lauren, not explicit, but dripping with hints. "Meet me at the hotel after work," he wrote. "You know how to make me smile," she replied. It was a start, but I needed more. I called Zach, who stayed at the companies and despised Lauren's arrogance and habit of stealing others' ideas. We met at Bean and Vine, a cozy cafe in Lincoln Park where the air smelled of fresh coffee and cinnamon. Zach sat, nervously shredding a napkin, his eyes bright with determination. "Emily, I've seen them flirting right in the office," he said, lowering his voice. "They think no one notices. Lauren leaves her stuff in his office, and he calls her kitten in the hallway when he thinks no one's around. Give me a couple days, I'll find something. Zach, this is risky, I said, clutching my steaming mug. If they catch you, you're out too. He grinned, his sneakers squeaking on the wooden floor. For you, I'll take the chance. They don't get to walk away clean. Sophia, my other ally, was all in. A data analysis genius with curly hair and a penchant for bright scarves even in summer. She knew how to bypass corporate filters. She hacked into an old Slack channel where David and Lauren swapped messages, thinking they'd been deleted. There were gems. Lauren wrote, "Love when you take risks for me, David." He replied, "Catherine won't find out. You're my little secret." I saved screenshots, my anger hardening into a sharp, cold resolve, like a blade. But I needed ironclad evidence. I contacted Tessa, David's former assistant who quit a year ago after his too personal requests. We met at the Violet Hour, a downtown bar where candlelight flickered off martini glasses. Tessa, with short platinum hair and a weary gaze, spilled, "Emily, he tried to get me into bed 2 years ago. I refused, and he made my life hell. Endless revisions, nitpicking, overtime. I left to save my sanity. Lauren's not his first. He had an affair with an intern in 2023. Check the Drake Hotel. He always takes his mistresses there." I thanked Tessa, buying her another cocktail, and dug deeper. Through a contact working as a desk clerk at the Drake, I accessed booking records. David and Lauren had rented a room 4 times in 4 months, always under fake names. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. How cliché, but with his corporate card. I also got lobby security footage. Lauren in a tight green dress, David's hand on her waist, both laughing as they headed to the elevator. This was my trump card, but I wanted more. I remembered Mike, a freelance data recovery specialist I'd met at a tech conference. We met by Lake Michigan, where seagulls screeched over the waves. Mike, in a worn leather jacket, listened to my story and agreed to help. "If they're texting on personal phones, I can try recovering deleted messages through their cloud," he said, chewing gum. "But it's not cheap, Emily." "Name your price," I replied. "I'll pay." Mike hacked Lauren's cloud account, exploiting an old password she hadn't changed since college. The messages took my breath away. Lauren sent David explicit photos, and he wrote, "You make me forget everything, even Catherine." I saved everything, my heart pounding with a mix of fury and triumph. This was more than evidence. It was a bomb ready to detonate. My plan took shape. The gala was 3 weeks away. A lavish event in the Four Seasons ballroom where Brightwave Media flaunted its success to clients and partners. Catherine always attended, adding drama to the stakes. I decided to embed proof of their affair in the Lux Haven campaign presentation, my campaign stolen by Lauren. But I needed to get into the gala despite being fired. Zach had a solution. "I'll sneak you in as my +1. No one checks the guest list at these things." I agreed, but fear gnawed at me. If my plan failed, I'd be humiliated, and David and Lauren would walk free. But every time I closed my eyes, I saw Lauren's fake smile and heard David's words, "You don't meet our standards." It fueled me like a shot of espresso. This wasn't just revenge. It was justice, and I was going to get it. The next 3 weeks, I worked like a woman possessed, barely sleeping, fueled by coffee and adrenaline. Zach secretly gave me access to the Lux Haven presentation file Lauren was preparing for the gala. She'd taken my concept, elegant, minimalist design highlighting travelers' emotions, and ruined it with garish colors, cliché slogans, and tacky clip art. I hacked the file using an old password Lauren, in her arrogance, hadn't changed, and added a final slide with the evidence. Screenshots of their messages, the Drake photos, booking records. I disguised it as a team appreciation slide to avoid detection. Sophia helped me edit a video. We compiled the Drake footage, David and Lauren embracing in an elevator, their faces clear under chandelier light. Zach recorded their office conversation, Lauren whispering, "When are you leaving Catherine? I'm tired of being second." David replied, "Soon, baby. I'll sort it out." I overlaid the audio on the video, adding subtitles for the Gala's massive screen. My heart raced imagining the room's reaction, shock, whispers, Catherine's fury, but I also feared something could go wrong. To crank up the pressure on David and Lauren, I orchestrated a few unpleasant surprises before the Gala. I contacted Rebecca, Sophia's friend in IT, who had access to office systems. Rebecca, with a pixie cut and a brow piercing, loathed Lauren for dumping work on others. I asked her to accidentally send an anonymous email from a concerned employee to the board, hinting at David's unprofessional behavior. The email was vague to protect me, but enough to rattle him. Rebecca texted, "They're already on edge. David yelled at his assistant for a typo yesterday. Lauren's walking around like a ghost." I also had Mike send Lauren a fake email from Catherine, demanding a meeting to discuss rumors. The email came from a spoofed address but looked convincing. Zach reported Lauren panicking, whispering with David in the conference room while he looked like he hadn't slept in a week. Their paranoia was growing, and I felt my web tightening. A week before the Gala, Lauren grew suspicious. She posted in the department's group chat, "Who touched my presentation file? I see changes." Panic hit, but Sophia reassured me, sitting in my apartment with her laptop. "She doesn't know it's you," she said, adjusting her scarf. I covered our tracks, altered the timestamps. "She's just paranoid. Keep going." I bought a dress for the Gala, black, form-fitting, with a deep neckline and shimmering sequins that caught the light like stars. In the mirror, I saw a warrior, not a victim. But at night, I lay awake, replaying the plan, imagining worst-case scenarios. The video not playing, David talking his way out. But each time, I recalled David's dismissive tone and Lauren's smug smile, and it gave me strength. 3 days before the Gala, I upped the ante. I contacted Lisa, a friend at Lux Haven who knew the campaign was mine. I asked her to casually mention at a meeting with David that some employees doubted Lauren's professionalism. Lisa agreed, saying, "Emily, you deserve justice. I'll make sure he's on edge." Zach reported that after the meeting, David was furious, canceling all appointments and locking himself in his office. Lauren looked crushed, her perfect hair disheveled, eyes red. Their relationship was fraying, and I knew the Gala would be the final nail in their coffin. The night of the Gala, I stood outside the Four Seasons, adrenaline pounding in my temples. The ballroom was dazzling. Crystal chandeliers sparkled like diamonds, tables draped in white linen overflowed with flowers, waiters glided with champagne trays. A jazz quartet played "Fly Me to the Moon," and the air was thick with expensive perfume. Zach met me at the doors, his tie slightly crooked, eyes gleaming with excitement. "You ready, Emily? This is gonna be epic." I squeezed his hand, my black dress shimmering under the lights. "They took my job, Zach. Tonight, I take their reputation." I spotted Catherine in a corner, in a sharp navy dress, her face cool but smiling at guests like a perfect hostess. David took the stage, his voice smooth as honey, boasting about 2025 as a year of triumph. Lauren sat in the front row, in a red dress that hugged her curves, but I saw her nervously twisting her bracelet, her smile taut as a wire. The Lux Haven presentation began. Lauren stepped on stage, her voice confident, but I knew she was parroting my words, my concept. I sat in the shadows, where the chandelier's light barely reached, my heart pounding so loud I feared it'd betray me. The slides flashed. Images of luxury hotels, ocean sunsets, my ideas warped by her tacky edits. As it neared the end, I held my breath. The final slide, my slide, appeared. Thanks to our team for their dedication, and some for their secrets. The room chuckled, thinking it was a joke. Then the screen flickered and the video started. Footage from the Drake. David and Lauren embracing in the elevator, their faces unmistakable. Their messages flashed, "Love when you take risks for me." Audio blared, "When are you leaving, Catherine? I'm tired of being second." The room went silent, as if someone hit mute. A glass dropped, shattering in the stillness. Catherine stood, her face pale, eyes blazing like lasers. Lauren froze on stage, her smile vanishing, hands trembling, the microphone nearly slipping. David leapt up, face red, shouting, "Turn it off! It's a mistake! Tex, turn it off!" But the Tex, stunned, fumbled, and the video continued. Lauren whispering, "I want to be with you, David. Officially." Him replying, "Soon, baby." The room buzzed like a hive, colleagues exchanging looks, clients whispering, partners shaking their heads. Catherine marched to the stage, her heels clicking like gunshots. Her voice was ice cold but trembled with rage. "David, is this true? Answer me now!" He opened his mouth, words stuck, hands shaking, tie askew. "Catherine, it's not what you think." She cut him off, her eyes like steel. "Don't you dare lie to me in front of everyone. You're done, David." Catherine turned and strode out, her steps echoing. Lauren bolted after her, her red dress flashing like an alarm, stumbling on the stairs, nearly falling. The room erupted in whispers, Lux Haven clients glaring at David with disgust. A woman in pearls muttered, "This is a disgrace." I stood, every eye turning to me. My dress sparkled under the chandeliers, and I felt not like a victim, but a queen claiming her due. Zach squeezed my shoulder, whispering, "You did it, Emily. You destroyed them." I stepped toward the stage, my voice steady as granite, though adrenaline shook me inside. "This isn't a mistake. I'm Emily Davis, and I was fired to make room for David's mistress, Lauren. They thought I'd vanish quietly, swallow their betrayal. But I know the truth, and now you do too." The room gasped as one. Lux Haven clients stood, faces twisted with disgust. A senior partner, Mr. Harris, in a tuxedo with a bow tie, rose and said loudly, "This is over, Crow. We don't work with liars and cheaters. Lux Haven is done with you." David tried to salvage it, his voice cracking, sweat beading on his forehead. "Emily, you don't understand. It's all a setup." But his words drowned in the room's clamor. Colleagues turned away, partners shook their heads, and the text finally killed the screen, but it was too late. The truth was out. Lauren was gone, her red dress a fleeting glimpse in the doorway, her shame complete. Catherine was already on the phone with her lawyer, her silhouette visible through the glass doors. I turned to David, locking eyes, His face was red, hair disheveled, a man who'd lost everything. "You thought I was weak, David?" I said, my voice low but sharp as a blade. "You stole my job, my dream, for her. Now you'll pay." I walked out, the air filling my lungs like I was breathing for the first time in months. Zach caught up, his face glowing with pride. "Emily, you were like a superhero. They never saw it coming." The next day, the news spread across Chicago like wildfire. Brightwave Media lost the Lux Haven contract, and 2 other clients announced reviews of their partnerships. David resigned under board pressure, his reputation in tatters. Catherine filed for divorce, rumors swirling she'd take half his wealth. Lauren quit the next day, unable to face the gossip and glares. Sophia sent me a photo from the office. Lauren's empty desk, a lone lipstick tube left behind. I got dozens of messages from colleagues thanking me for my courage. Zach texted, "Emily, you're a legend. I want to be you when I grow up." Sophia sent a meme of a crowned queen captioned, "Emily Davis, Queen of Revenge." Even Tessa, the former assistant, wrote, "You did what I only dreamed of. Thanks for showing him who he is." A week later, Anna Lester, director of rival firm Skyline Marketing, called. She'd been at the gala and saw it all. We met at a cafe overlooking Lake Michigan, where waves lapped the shore and the sky was clear as crystal. Anna, in a crisp white suit, smiled. "Emily, your Lux Haven campaign was brilliant. I know it was yours, not Lauren's. We need your talent. Want to be our marketing director?" I froze, tears welling, but this time from relief, triumph. "Anna, it's everything I've dreamed of," I said, steadying my voice. I'm in. Now? I work at Skyline Marketing on the 40th floor, in an office with panoramic windows framing Lake Michigan's shimmering waters. My apartment's the same. Blue couch, vinyl records, spike on the windowsill. But a new award sits on my shelf, for a campaign I pitched my first week in the role. Colleagues call me the one who took down Crow, and I laugh, taking it as a compliment. Sometimes I pass Brightwave Media's office, its windows darkening, its sign gathering dust. Sometimes I think of David's face that night, lost, crushed. A man who knew he'd lost everything. And I smile. It wasn't just revenge. It was my triumph, my new beginning, my victory over betrayal. And I know I have a lifetime ahead, filled with opportunities no one can steal. Did you like the story? Write your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next interesting story. See you tomorrow.